Hello, everyone. This is Ted with OAXRAY, and we are getting our live stream kicked off tonight. It is 7 p.m. Tuesday, March the 28th. We're going to have a good time tonight, and we are going to be talking about just everything Amazon, really. Few things happened this week. Last week went to ASD in Las Vegas. If I did not see you out there, I know I saw a lot of you guys out there. If you stopped by the booth, thank you guys. It was awesome. Good show. Tons of people turned out. It's like every single year that goes by, there's just more and more people. So that's just awesome. But the suppliers were stepping up their game this time. I mean, the suppliers are now expecting Amazon sellers. It's a little different than before. People were definitely kind of standoffish before about Amazon sellers. From my perspective, they were like more of not so inclusive. But this time, people wanted Amazon sellers, and they were excited to see us. I even met a guy. He said he has a whole line of items, and he loves Amazon sellers because they sell out so many of his products. So, Andy, thank you very much for saying hi. Steven, yeah. Bobby Moons, see you again. Bobby Moons Bargains. Thank you for the shout out. Thank you guys for being here. That's awesome. If you guys have any questions, you can put it in the live chat box down there. I see that we have a few people watching. That's always good. So I just want to talk to you guys about the first thing, which is probably going to be the most important, which was kind of the bombshell that kind of finally dropped in the last few days. And that is, dun dun dun, AMZ Suite. That is a company that automatically files refunds for you. This is the same old game that we've seen before. If you've actually gotten this notification, just pop it in the live chat. I'm going to see if I can pull one up while I'm talking to you. But essentially what happens is AMZ Suite, they file claims for you. This is great, and I always recommend that everyone look at their account and kind of make sure that you are able to get any refunds when Amazon loses an item of yours, or whenever they damage an item of yours in the Amazon FBA warehouse. But Amazon created terms of service, and they essentially said that you are not allowed to post any automatic request for those refunds. So what a company did was they actually created an automatic service, and then they started offering it. As far as I can tell, it's about a year and a half ago, and Steven's agreeing with me here. He got one of the notifications. About a year and a half ago, they opened up a company, and they started processing all these refunds. Everybody was really excited. And whenever I first saw it, I tried to warn everybody. I told them it doesn't matter if you use Refund X-Ray, really doesn't matter. It just matters that you do not use automated service. I wasn't 100% sure how AMZ Suite worked, so I said, why don't you contact them, see if they're doing this automatically with the program, or if they have virtual assistants in the background doing this for you. If virtual assistants are doing it, you're probably fine, but if a computer is just making all these cases, then you're going to be in trouble. It's against Amazon terms of service, so we want to make sure we avoid this. But anyways, we have hundreds of people, definitely hundreds of people, because I've seen them post all over the internet. I've seen the post in the Amazon forums. I've seen even on their Facebook page people talking about this. So what Amazon did was, if you look at whenever you give permissions to anyone to access your account, you essentially give them permission to do certain things to your account. So let's say you give AMZ Suite permission to access your account. You give them their email, amzsuite.com or amzsuite@support.com, whatever it is. And Now Amazon knows that you're using that service. If 1,000 other people also give AMZ Suite the same thing, then, or sorry, also give them the same email, then what's going to happen is Amazon's going to say, well, we see 1,000 people all using the same email, all using the same service, and they're all submitting cases. So this is probably an automated service doing this. Then they can pull the API and they can actually look at these things, and they're going to notice. Okay, so here I don't want to show you the screenshot. Let's see, because we're in a group. Let's see, this is in a closed group. This is actually from, yeah, I'm not going to show you the screenshot. This is just from a closed group. This was from March 10, 2016. And someone asked about AMZ Suite. This is March 10th, 2016. And these are my words exactly. If they are using the software to place reimbursement request, they're against the terms of service. I got a policy violation for this a few years back. If they have any people doing it in the background, then you should be fine. But it sounds like they are letting the software submit the cases. And I had several people agree with me on this one. But on this same token, you have several people, saying that it's okay for AMZ Suite to make all these requests for you. And here it is. What are we? Oh man, it's funny because we're almost at 1 year. That's about how long it took Amazon to catch on to this. So this post that I made was in one of the groups. That was March 10, 2016 at 5:29 p.m. and people started getting those warnings March 20th, 2017. So it took about a year for Amazon to catch on. But you have to remember that Amazon is paying attention. So whenever you are doing things that are against the terms of service, Amazon will definitely catch on to these things. So if anyone has a question, you can put it in here. I'm trying to get a good screenshot of the terms of service as we are speaking about it, and also looking up to see if anyone has a solution for this. So if you are using AMZ Suite and you did not get one of the notifications, I recommend going into your Amazon account and making sure you remove any access. Some people report that they have not had access to AMZ Suite for the last, some say it was over a year ago. So to do that, we're going to go to your Amazon front page central, go to settings, and then user permissions. From there, you're going to see everybody that has access to your user permissions, and you'll be able to see, like, if you have seller labs, you can have inventory lab. I have a seller tool and celery. Now, I'm looking at this right now. I know you guys can't see it, but it's a couple clicks, and I would just do this audit every few months because you tend to forget. Like right now, I just forgot I had seller labs, and I forgot I had celery, and I forgot I had inventory labs. I think inventory labs does my feedback. I don't even remember what seller labs does, so I'm just going to revoke access. And celery, they do repricing. I'm going to revoke access there. And it's just that easy. It's just one click. So if you see AMZ Suite and you got that notification, or if you didn't and you don't want to get the notification, just make sure you check that out. So Refund Manager, I'm going to tell you a story about Refund Manager. Jim? Oh, yeah, Seller Labs is So Refund Manager used to have a different name. I don't remember what the name was. They actually, am I watching a tennis match? I guess my eyes are going back and forth. I'm sorry. I'm not used to staring at the camera. Boom, looking at the camera. Just for you, Kelly. Yeah, so what about Refund Manager? So, like, I don't know, 5 years ago, I guess, refunds weren't talked about too much. People just really didn't talk about them too much, and Amazon damaging your items just wasn't a big deal. But a company came out, I don't remember what Refund Manager was called before, but they came out and they were automatically submitting the cases. they got me personally back about $3,900. I was excited, and then randomly I shut off their service just because I guess they were done getting me the money. I paid them. I was happy. I got about 4,000 bucks back. Probably 3 months later, every single person who used them, I don't know if anybody here has been here long enough or remembers those days, but everyone who used them, hundreds, probably thousands of people, all got notifications all the same day. And the company was essentially done as far as I knew. Then a few months later, they essentially rebranded. They came back, and they came back as Refund Manager. Now, when they came back as Refund Manager, they did things a little bit different. Now, as far as I know, they use live virtual assistants, and the live virtual assistants will actually go into your account, and they're actually going to place all the tickets. So instead of a computer placing the tickets, you have live people looking at your account, placing the tickets. As far as what I can tell from Amazon Terms of Service, that is okay to have a live person go through, look at the reports, and place the tickets. That's why Refund X-Ray, which is OAXRay's product, works like it does, because we look at your reports, process it for you, and then we allow you to create the tickets yourself, because if a bot does it, if it just automatically happens, then you will be against terms of service. And then anyone who would like to actually look at the report and actually double check anything, you have that option. You can always go through it, go through your live reports on Amazon and make sure that your dates are correct. Because, if you put in the wrong dates or something, then maybe, the dates could be off or something like that. So we want to give you as many options as possible. So that is what we do at OAXRay. And Refund Manager kind of does the same thing, but a virtual assistant will prime those things for you. So, so if you're using AMZ Suite, they probably sent you a notification. Now, the notification that I'm going to tell you about, I would probably not do what they're going to tell you to do. And I probably would say don't do what they're going to tell you to do, which is just change that little email, because I've seen the email. I don't have it with me, but the email that was allegedly sent out says just change the email in your account settings so it doesn't say AMZ Suite, but change it to something else. Now, that would be dangerous, because if they already caught you once doing it, you don't want to repeat the same offense again. Just don't do it again. Just, if you already got caught once, AMZ Suite already got caught once, just they now know that what they did was against terms of service. So just change what they're doing so that they can, get everything right. Todd is in the house. That's my business partner. If you don't know Todd, he doesn't say much, but I'm glad he is here. And Rake and Profit is also here. I was on his live stream a couple weeks ago. So, if you go over to his channel, check him out. He has some great videos. He was actually doing some ASD videos. So if you guys are interested, go over there. I want to bring back some things from ASD. I really, I'm going to see if I can do this. Okay, so ASD. Okay, so here we are on the ASD marketplace. If you have not thought about going, I would suggest going in the July-August show. I should be there again. There's no reason that I am not going to be there for the July to August show in Las Vegas Convention. It's just a good show. It always makes you think outside of the box. I actually randomly found a supplier on my plane trip home. So it was actually kind of interesting. I randomly sat next to a guy. He got sick on the plane. He was like, oh man, can I switch seats with you? He was in the middle seat, and I hate the middle seat. I was on the outside seat, but I just said, okay, I'll let you sit here. And then we got to talking. He felt a little better, and he is a huge closeout guy. And he said, well, since you let me switch seats with you, you did a nice thing and let me send your kids some toys. I asked him what he did. He told me about the whole closeout, and he actually sent some lists over to me. So I'm going to be going through some lists. Hopefully, we can find some profitable items. He says he has all the documentation to be the authorized distributors, so I shouldn't have any problems there. And, I'll have the proper documentation receipts or whatever I need. So you never really know where you're going to meet people, but the cool thing was, it was like flying out of Las Vegas. There was a guy behind me talking about just Amazon sales. He was like a private label guy. The guy sitting next to me randomly, he's some big buyer doing liquidation, and I mean, he sent me a sheet with some of the ASIN or some of the UPCs had thousands of units. So it's kind of like you never really know what you are going to find when you're on one of these trips. So it's just, not only is it good to go to learn something, but it's also pretty awesome just to just all the people that you're going to meet. Like, you're going to see people who you would never meet otherwise. Plus, you get to see me, you get to see Rake and Profit. I don't know if he's going to be there in July. He might post in the comments and say he will, but I'm not really sure. But it's just an awesome time. So if you haven't been, you should go. And for me, I actually like to stop at just about every booth, even if you think that, hey, there's nothing here that I can get out of this booth. I don't even sell this kind of item. Some of the people will actually have kind of closeout items that are not even related to the main product, or maybe they have some kind of item, or just there's just so many opportunities. There was a guy there who had all this makeup stuff, and all he does is go around and purchase all the makeup and all those supplies when the show is over. So one thing that a lot of people don't know is that after they close down their booth, we see all these knives floating by on this ASD marketplace screen right here. Every like fifth time we see the knives. Whenever a supplier comes with like 20,000 knives or 10,000 different knives, they don't always want to bring those items back to their house. So often you can make an offer on the entire display, and that can be your inventory. So I've seen people do that. Plus, you can get live demos and just things like that of the product. So whenever I went there this time, I did notice that China essentially took over China took over just about everything. So I'll go back. So in shows past, I always noticed that in the international section, you had, U.S. sellers. You had like a U.S. section. You had, let's say, a Japan section, Japanese section. Then you had all these different sections. This time, I mean, China, it was just took it over. It was insane, but it was pretty cool because there was just the variety of products just down there was just absolutely crazy. And the fact that you can meet with people in person was just awesome. So I was just kind of blown away. And the guy sitting next to me, his name was Lee, and he actually runs a fulfillment center in Texas. So if you guys don't have a fulfillment center yet, I don't even remember the name of it. Texas Prep. Well, anyways, if you have any questions about a prep center and you need one, you can shoot me a message on Facebook, because Lee was doing Texas Prep in Houston, Texas, and he actually showed me some pretty cool things about what he can do. The prep centers, he actually does two things. So the difference is you have prep centers that only do like FBA prep. So all they're going to do is ship that item from you or from your wholesaler or maybe from your distributor, and they're going to ship it right into Amazon FBA. The cool thing about Lee and Texas Prep was they actually will ship it to FBA, but what he told me was that most of his people, not only do they sell FBA, but they'll also sell on like Groupon, or they'll sell on eBay, or they'll sell Third Coast Fulfillment. Yes, Kevin, Kevin, thank you. Kevin was at ASD with me, so we sat next to him in the booth for 4 days, and I don't even remember the logo that said Third Coast Fulfillment. So sorry, Lee. Um, but yes, Third Coast Fulfillment in Houston, Texas. So the cool thing was he allows you to not only ship directly to Amazon, but instead of having those long-term storage fees, let's say you want to sell on Groupon, plus you want to ship half of your inventory into Amazon FBA, you can do that because he will fulfill each individual order along with each order that comes in, one by one. So if you're doing a private label item and you're like, I don't know how fast this thing is going to sell, you can send him those orders, let's say 1,000 units, and while the sales start to ramp up, or if you have multi-channel fulfillment and it is Amazon Seller Prime, then you can have him ship those items out and they'll meet the Prime requirements whenever he selects the correct shipping. And then whenever you know how fast the velocity is, you can actually start sending those units into Amazon Prime. So I thought that was a pretty cool feature that I saw on this program. So I'm going to get to the chat room, make sure I haven't missed any question. Okay, Jim is in the house. Thank you. Kurt says he can't hear me. Is anybody else having the difference between, or is anybody else having a problem hearing me? Okay, so Jim, what's the main difference in OAXRAY, tactical arbitrage? Okay, so I met Alex, owner, tactical arbitrage, cool dude. OAXRAY allows you to run scans on multiple pages of a website, and it also allows you to run scans on kind of like small, narrow points of a website. So, for instance, here, let me see if I can. I don't want to show this screen, so let me see. Okay, so one quick. I'll go here. This is a simple scan with OAXRAY. All I do is click on the OAXRAY extension button. Hopefully you guys can see this. I believe I clicked the button correctly. And we see this little pop-up happened, and this is OAXRAY. So the cool thing about it, and the main difference is you can use it like a scalpel. So if I know I'm on the main page of Toys R Us, and I know that, okay, I'm on Toys for deals, there's thousands of items. I know that these specific items are on sale. Maybe these are buy one, get one free, or, just whatever the sale happens to be on this. I can simply click the button and the extension opens. There is no more to it. That's pretty much it. It's just pretty quick, pretty easy to use. If I want to use it like a scalpel, and that's just my analogy for that situation. Or if I want to use it more in a general sense, I have another option, which is to use what we call our link bank. So I can show you that real quick. And I don't want it to all be a demo, so I'm going to be as quick as possible. And I'll go to oaxray.com/sites. And if I scroll down, and let's say I want to do, like, instead of just doing one page at a time, I want to do a large section of a site. If I scroll down to Toys R Us, I can click on our link bank, and I can take any links here. So these are just what's new, clearance. I can select a section, copy it, and just paste it into the links tab of OAXRAY. And then I just hit process offline, and in a few minutes I will come back with results. This is something that is already completed running, and here we go. This is just some random search that I did a few minutes ago, and you can see the items on the page. Might take a couple seconds to load, and then you're able to filter by sales rank, ROI, or whatever it is that you want to filter by. So you can run large batch scans, which you can also run like the smaller niche kind of items. I also quickly, while we're here, we changed a few things. So now your links tab, whenever you load to table, it loads like to a second screen. This is so that you get better performance. It's a lot faster. Also, our buy list does the same thing. So you will notice that the buy list will load to a second screen. You can also see the images here, and you can do any sorting just simply by clicking right here. So that's all I'll talk about OAXRAY. I'll move back to the main page, unless we have any other questions. So simple as Jungle Scout, as long as I can analyze information. Yeah, so Jungle Scout is pretty intuitive, pretty easy to use from what I've seen and the few times that I've used it. So that is what we have gone for, just the simple approach so that the average person who's just trying it out can just click a button and it works. I understand that some people are more tech savvy and they can, do some coding and they can do all of these things, but your average person just wants something that's going to work for them, that's going to, be kind of an easy setup process and just work whenever they need it. Jungle Scout is more for the private label, Jim. I wasn't sure if you were comparing the two, but Jungle Scout's more for the kind of private label items. So if you're looking to your keywords or you're trying to launch some private label, you're trying to figure out how much something is selling, that's generally what you would use Jungle Scout for. But if you already have Jungle Scout, then it might be a good idea for you to use it in conjunction with OAXRAY and just see how fast something is selling based on the sales rank that you see using OAXRAY. So I believe they have a function where you can just plug in an ASIN and then they're going to tell you an estimated sales volume. That's what I would do for my last step if you also have Jungle Scout, because since you have them, you might as well use them also, and it's just going to give you more tools to kind of narrow down your searching. Okay, so there's also been another thing that everyone has talked about. I don't know. Has anybody seen any of those listings? Can someone post one of those listings that has been tanked by these brand new sellers that have been coming in? Because I had one earlier and it is getting crazy on Amazon because we have all of these brand new sellers coming in. I've seen a listing with like 10 brand new sellers with zero feedback. And I mean, it's just, I'm not sure how they're even able to list items, but one item I saw had 3 sellers. They all had essentially no feedback, and they brought down the lowest price from like $10 and the lowest price was like $4. So here you have a buyer who comes into the situation. They're really not, I'm going to try to find one, but you have a buyer here who comes into the situation and they really don't know how Amazon works. They may not know about the third-party sellers, and then they don't get their product. So I wanted to talk about that for a minute and possibly some strategies. The good thing is I don't think these sellers right now are getting the buy box. Yeah, so Jim says the just launched sellers taking over. So if you have one of those listings, just send it so I could pop it on screen. The listing that I had prepared, it seems that Amazon actually, I guess they caught on to it and they removed the sellers who were selling it, because I really don't, I don't know how there's not an algorithm set up already so that they can just simply, you see someone who's just launched, they have no feedback or they have 100% negative feedback. And then you notice that they have 20,000 items listed in their store and everything is listed like $10 under the buy box price. So this is just going to reduce customer confidence in the product, because whenever someone doesn't get their stuff, they're not going to be happy. They may not buy from Amazon again. So that's never a good situation. So if you see these sellers, hopefully they don't jump on your listings, but I've never seen them in the buy box, not yet. So if you see them in the buy box, hopefully we are, hopefully we don't see that coming up anytime soon. So I wanted to, let's see. So I wanted to know, has anybody taken this Amazon insurance? I have heard about this Lloyd's of London Amazon insurance coming up. Um, and it just keeps popping up in all these groups. And I just am curious if anybody in the group has taken it. My take on it is that they can deny the claim if you break any Amazon terms of service. So far from what I can tell, Amazon generally doesn't suspend you unless you break a terms of service. So I don't know at what point they will actually allow you to recover on the claim, because Amazon might have a real reason for suspending you. And if you don't know what I'm talking about, it is this insurance. You pay about, for a $500,000 seller, they pay $1,200 a year. And what that does is it says if you get your account suspended within that year, they're going to pay for, I believe it is 3 months of whatever your payouts were for the last rolling 3 months. So let's say you're making $125,000 every 3 months, and they need to pay out on this claim. They're going to pay out $125,000 if your Amazon account gets suspended and you're insured by this policy. So I've seen a lot of talk about this. I wasn't sure if anybody actually claimed this ability, because I've seen it, but there's so many exclusions on it that I couldn't see a way for them to actually pay out. And without actually knowing anybody who's actually going to be able to claim on it, it's a very new service. So I just wasn't sure if anybody has done it. And it was just kind of an interesting thing, especially since there was like there's no history of the information about that. Okay, so right now what I wanted to do was move into, okay, going to actually look for something on Amazon. So what we want to, yeah, so Kelly is a little anxious also. I don't know anyone who has the insurance. It is, it's interesting to me. I would like to see them actually pay out to someone and actually have someone say, my account got suspended. This was the reason, and they actually did pay out. Because at this point, I feel like they will deny the claim whenever you come to them. Because if Amazon said you didn't have enough proof, what type of proof will they need? Kelly, I didn't get to see you in Vegas. Do you have any questions for me on the OAXRAY live stream? Oh, and one thing we got to do in Vegas, awesome. If you ever go, jump off of the Space Needle. Is that Space Needle? Yeah, Space Needle. The Stratosphere. That was an awesome time. 108 floors up, 900 and something feet. But yeah, that was a good time. Oh, Kelly was not at ASD. I thought Kelly was at ASD. He's everywhere, so I just assumed he was there. Okay, so since we're here, let me go back to some OAXRAY related things, a couple things here since we're here. Here we go. Let's go to the AZ to AZ deal finder. I will type in Lego. I'll just show you how that thing works. What it allows you to do is allows you to analyze. Oh, I have nothing there. That's why it's not a link. So anyways, what it allows you to do is search pages and analyze keywords and look for items that are missing or that may be profitable to buy for Amazon to Amazon flips. So these little minifigs right here, let's see right here. I'm looking right here at these minifigs. We see that it was going in and out of stock. Price is still low, so I wouldn't even look at that one. I do not see any good examples right now. Let's see a Power Ranger. I would assume the Power Ranger prices have gone up since the movie came out, but actually, Power Ranger prices look pretty stable. Well, here we go. Power Rangers Little Boy's character hoodie. Looks like the movie came out on like the 20th. Amazon goes out of stock, and now the price climbs. Interesting. March 1st. So, does anyone buy toys and games pre-movie? I'm curious about that. One of my strategies used to be, I haven't done it in a while actually, would be to wait for a movie to come out like Power Rangers. I take a toy, let's say the Red Ranger, something that had a horrible sales rank, and I'd wait about a week before the movie to come out, and then I would do heavy PPC, pay-per-click, on Red Power Ranger, and then I would actually not launch the product, but make sure the product was at FBA. And the day the movie launched, generally I could sell the item out within a few days, assuming the movie did okay. And that was one of my strategies. I was curious if anybody else has kind of the same thing that they like to do with movies that are just coming out. So Todd prefers the custom URLs. Yeah, so you can go to Amazon, pull out a custom URL, and also pull that into the Amazon to Amazon deal finder and actually try to find some items that way. And I'm randomly at dog leashes because on the last stream, whenever we were looking for private label items, I randomly found a dog leash. So dog leashes are on my mind today. And everybody has been talking about this little spinner thing. And this was actually popular. Oh, let me control. I don't know why it does that every time. So this was actually popular at ASD. This little spinner thing. It looks like now there's a few companies, there's a bunch of companies doing it. But this was very popular. You kind of put your finger on it and you spin it. It's like a fidget tool thing. So, well, I guess the price has been driven down now. Yeah, but this was very popular at ASD. I saw a bunch of these going around, but I guess it's too popular because now everybody has one. So if you're looking for private label ideas and you see that everyone at ASD has the same product, you might want to assume that there will be 3 pages of them on Amazon. Oh, cool. Okay, yeah, probably not going to be any margin on this item, but that's interesting how quickly things come to market, especially whenever they're super popular, because this item, everyone was talking about this thing over the last like 2 weeks, and they were talking about it at ASD. I saw a bunch of people spinning it, and all of a sudden, number 3 in sports and outdoors, 103 reviews, top 1 in sports and outdoors. Man, I think, good Lord, number 2 in toys and games. Man, okay, so these things have awesome ranking. Like the top, all of these are in like the top 20 of their respective categories. I think what people are doing is they're putting them in random different categories so that they don't compete with each other, which is not the thing to do. But anyways, that is not going to work for a private label idea. Okay, so I'm going to go back over here. The ASD app. I have no idea what the ASD app is called. I am sure it is on their website, And I would assume, oh, there we go. Download the app. I will actually, I'm going to actually throw that in the chat room right now. You can download the ASD app. It's actually, you can't download it from the App Store. You actually have to download it from the ASD Marketplace. This actually, I think it tells you where to go and where everything are, the maps, the planner, and all that good stuff. There are actually a whole bunch of really good speakers. Maybe I'll be speaking at the next one. I'm not really sure if I will get to, so hopefully I will get the opportunity to speak, and everyone will. I like to speak about automation, how you can outsource a lot of the things that you do. Does anybody have an outsourcing question they want to ask? So I can talk about how you can outsource part of your business, all of your business, or, well, not all of it. There's always things that I think you should probably keep doing. Because whenever you start to outsource some things, then you start to lose some control. And I always like to have some kind of input on some things. Okay, so what I will do is I'm going to allow a few more seconds for some questions, and then I'm going to go off of the live stream. I just wanted to cover a few topics. I wanted to talk about ASD. I wanted to talk about everybody getting this warning in their email because it's crazy. Again, if you weren't here during the beginning and you're using AMZ Suite, you need to take a look at that. Read the Amazon Terms of Service. Check it out because I don't want anybody getting suspended. You cannot use any service that automates any service that will automate the support tickets. So if there is a feedback and the feedback is negative, you don't want an automatic system that just automatically sends out a bunch of tickets for it. If you're getting refunds, you don't want a system that automatically sends out things for feedback. Okay, a Noble. I don't think I've seen you here before, so welcome. When using a VA, how many products should they find per day? So whenever you're using a virtual assistant, I recommend always master a job yourself and then have a virtual assistant do it for you after that. So source on the websites yourself, learn it pretty well, and then do it yourself. So for a virtual assistant, I would recommend that they do 80% of what you can do, 70 to 80%. I wouldn't expect anybody to be as fast as what I can do. So let's say you're able to source 20 products that are over 50% ROI and, look good on the Keeper Graph every single day. If you're sourcing 20, then they need to be sourcing 14 to 16. They're not going to be as good as you are, but they should be able to do most of what you can do. They're not going to be quite as efficient. Sometimes there are going to be connection issues and things like that. So you might want to take that in consideration. You might say, how fast is your internet speed? You might want to talk to them on Skype. Make sure, because if someone can't do a video or a voice Skype with you, then they're probably not having a fast enough connection to actually do a lot of online scouting where they're switching a lot of pages, where they're doing a lot of things online, and they're going to need a heavy, strong internet connection. So that is what I recommend in that capacity. So that looks like that's going to be our last question of the night. Thank you guys for showing up. Every single time we have one of these, we get a few more live viewers. I'm going to have more topics to talk about every Tuesday and Thursday, 7 p.m. Okay, so Jim snuck in a real quick question. Would it be too risky or suspicious to switch to a refund manager or another service that is not automated? Okay, so there's no problem with having a system that gets refunds. The problem, from what I can read, is having an automated system. So you can switch to something, just make sure it is not automated. So ask them straight up front, is it automated or do you do these tickets manually? And that should answer your question. If they say it is automated, say no, I want no parts. That's about it. Thank you guys very much. Having a great day and make some money using OAXRAY.